Hey guys, it's me, Jen. All right, so it's day one of I'm going to call it a daily journal, a daily video journal for anyone watching who follows me, wants tips, recommendations. More so than any of that, anyone interested in following my journey and watching some of the strategies and routines that I've put in place in my life to maintain health mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I can tell you it's a journey. I've been on this journey now for 8.5 years, and it's been bumpy at times, maintaining everything and balancing everything. And I've learned a ton. So, working to bring it forward to all of you. So, hence today's video, day one. And guys, my main goal with the daily video journals is to help anyone watching to instill that self-love, because I don't know about for y'all, anyone watching, but it can be easy to fall down the rabbit hole of what we're not. And I'm an advocate for standing for what we are and standing for what we can do to get to where we want to be in the future. So there you have it. And a quick run through of my day, some of the things that I do in my daily routine, and some of the things that I encountered today and how I counteracted them. So the first thing that I love to do as soon as I wake up in the morning is I set a statement. Not necessarily, I do a daily intent, but the very first thing I literally say to myself actively when I wake up in the morning is show me the way today. Just setting that positive, show me the way for my day to myself, to Creator, to God, to however you choose to define. Guys, our brains are most placid the first thing when we wake up in the morning. So the first thing that we can tell ourselves can really propel us through the rest of the day. So watch that statement. I also set a daily intent, and my intent today was faith in all things. It's what I meditated on, and it's what I've come back to a number of times. And good thing when you hear some of the triggers that really got me today. Had a great almost 5 mile walk outside in nature, enjoying as the sun comes up and being out. I also did a routine today, a combination routine of legs, arms, and abs, doing 100 squats, 100 push-ups, and 112 crunches. Where the 112 came from, I don't know. My goal was 100 and I just didn't want to stop. So I kept going. And for me, my mornings, especially at this point in my life, doing a brief meditation and just getting in silence is very healing and centering. So I did an 18-minute meditation and then switched over to energy work for 16 minutes. I'm an intuitive energy worker. And very grateful for being able to bring positive energy to my own self within my practice. Now, here's where it gets really good. The other things that I'm going to, I track and I'm also going to share is my food routines. Now, again, for anyone watching, when it comes to that body image piece, guys, I know from my personal experience of decades of weight loss, how hard it can be and how it can be weird navigating like what's right for us in our bodies. And here's how I have it. All of our bodies are different. All of us respond to different things different ways. Figure yourself out. Figure out how foods respond to you and then adjust accordingly. Over the next several months, I'm going to share some of my food triggers. And I'm also going to share some other cool happenings so that you can help to track yours. My day, I also track water intake, but I'll leave that out today. So I actually didn't break my fast for breakfast until 11:45-ish. And I kept it simple, just a couple slices of organic roast beef and a couple servings of organic salami. Stayed fasting again until about 3:45, had a couple servings of almonds, and I haven't eaten yet, but that's going to come after this video. And I plan to, again, keep it simple with some canned salmon mixed with some avocado mayo and some veggie chips They're delish and 100% natural, you guys. I'll share them one of these days. So that's the food stuff for today. Now for me, if I feel like I need a snack, if I feel like I need something sweet after I eat, I'll probably more than likely turn to some honey badger protein mixed with some almond milk. Get that extra protein in there, get some good collagen peptides, and mix it with some healthy unsweetened almond milk. It's a great treat, and you would never know that it's completely healthy for us and great for rejuvenating our body and our cells at the end of the day. And keeping to the no sugar, at least for myself at this point. So now here's the other things. And you're going to hear me talk more about these in my daily journal entries because I know, at least for much of my audience that follows me, deal with a lot of this stuff. And it comes to that, I'll go with two. So first is the overwhelming piece. Guys, I can tell you throughout my day, there were a couple moments that I felt completely overwhelmed. Now, rightfully so, I have a book coming out in 6 to 8 weeks. I am a solopreneur as of the last couple months, so working to build my coaching practice. Now have a space in another location a couple days a week for my energy practice. And I also have an e-commerce business on the side. So I have a lot going on. And for me, I am also I'm a worker. So it's easy for me to just work through everything and not shut off and get very overwhelmed by all the stuff that we have to do. So here's what I do. When I was in this overwhelm today, I really just backed out of it. So if you have overwhelm in life, well, I'll finish for me first and then give you my tips. So for me, in this overwhelm that I was feeling today, guys, I just backed it out. I just backed it out and said, okay, what's all the stuff I have to get done now? And what can wait till tomorrow? Or what can wait till this evening? And really looked at what I have to do versus what doesn't really have to be done. Maybe it doesn't have to be done at all. And maybe some of it just doesn't need to be done now. And then for anyone in business of any sorts, whether it's through you working for someone else or for yourself, also always look at what's going to get you the most impact, right? Because oftentimes some of the things we do are just unnecessary. And make sure you're keeping that in mind, whether it be for your kids, for your family, for your house, whatever it is. Keep in those actions that are going to get you the most results and the most impact. And then other stuff that is just stuff that may not have to be done, really look at, is it worth the unbalancing of your time, or would a few more hours with the kids be even more helpful? So there's that. So when you get overwhelmed, take a step back. For me, when I look at overwhelm, keeping the chaos in check is really important for me. Like I can tell you right now, my desk is a mess of Post-its and notes and just other stuff that I need to clean it up. And I can tell you that my first thing to do, maybe later tonight, more than likely tomorrow morning, is going to be to clean up the clutter. Because fact is if we have clutter around us, it can be easy to clutter up here. Whereas on the converse end, if we're staying on track up here, everything else can sometimes fall in line. So overwhelm, clean up the clutter, back out, look in, and see what's really necessary. Now, the other thing that showed up for me several times throughout my day today was a serious overthinking of just small doubt moments. Now, I'm grateful for all of the progress that I've made in my life of overcoming self-doubt, building confidence. But guys, here's the thing. We're human. Doubt and that imposter voice can show up at times. And I can tell you, when we're going into new things, when we're going into things that we're maybe a little uncertain of, when we're, for anyone out there who's making that transition from work to entrepreneurship or looking at changing jobs, it is completely normal to have doubt moments. Now, here's what I do. In those moments for me, the first thing I ask myself is it true? Can I prove myself wrong? Can I prove myself wrong that the doubt is showing up, that I've already done something to prove myself that that doubt's not really a voice I need to go down, not really a voice I need to listen to? The second thing for me is I love looking at positive anchors of other areas of life that I've proven to myself that I can overcome anything, and I always land on my feet. Another thing that I did specific for today is I talked to my husband when he got home from work for a couple hours. Well, I didn't talk to him for a couple hours, but I talked to him for a bit just to get it out and just to get perspective and just to have him give me a little bit of a nudge, of a kick in the ass in the areas that I needed it, in the areas that I was having doubt. And I can tell you sometimes just that, and I'm usually an internal thinker, but certainly for me when I need it, having that voice of reason to say, let me just get this out and tell me I'm on the right track and we're good. And guys, that's normal. It's normal to have community. I mean, look at our ancestors, okay? Like, follow me here. Our heritages, all of us, cavemen, right? They didn't go alone. If they went alone, they got eaten by predators, I would guess. I think. I might have to look at history. But beyond that, they traveled together. They had each other's backs. They traveled in people herds, I guess, right? So that when predators were coming in, when something was happening, they had each other to lean off of. There's nothing wrong when you have a moment to lean on someone. Make sure they're the voice of reason. Make sure that they're going to be the voice to give adequate perspective without pulling you in the wrong direction or causing any kind of drama. So, yeah, people, camaraderie. And for me, that doubt conversation, I'm looking at my notes. I also, and today wasn't one of those moments, but I made a note of it because I certainly could have if I needed it. Again, these were just mini moments for me, so it was quick to move through and untether from. And I occasionally will go down a what if road. Okay, well, what if that thing does happen that I'm doubting? What would I do? Well, if I have an action plan for what if that happens and I know what I would do, then I've already worked through it. So then if it happens, I already have a plan. I'm not a planner, but if I needed to, it's there. So that would be another option. So talk to your community. Go down the what road if you have to, but don't stay there. And only what if it in regards to what you would do about it. So that you have a plan so that you can gain comfort to know no matter what happens, you would be good. And so the other thing that showed up for me today that I certainly wanted to mention is I had kind of that, and especially for all the moms out there, especially for all the moms of young adults or teenagers, I had one of those conversations with my son today that there was a little bit of tough love. And Bo, if you're watching, I love you. I won't go into detail. And guys, those tough conversations for me, I can tell you, weren't always easy. I borderline was that kind, almost too kind, didn't want to give some tough love. And fact is I'm so grateful to have created a space that I can be kind and have those harder conversations as needed. And again, for any of the parents out there listening or watching or anyone following who is in that parental type figure, keep in mind that having a kindness, but also being direct and firm so that we are building strong structure for whomever it is that needs it, an employee, a child, whomever, is important. So you can be kind and direct. Well, you can be kind while being direct and giving the right information. And the other thing for me in this one, as such a soul-centered, intuitive, sensitive person, is especially for my boy. It was very easy for me to say, if what I'm saying is making you feel a certain way, tell me, because then I can help you through that. It doesn't mean I'm going to change what I'm going to say. However, if we let them know, I want to know your feelings and how you feel about it, it allows them the same voice that we want to have. And I'm not sure about all of you, but I, for one, won't give up my voice. And we should allow everyone around us to be as empowered as we want to be in our thoughts and our opinions and our perspectives. So hold that to your heart with keeping your voice and being in that authentic, aligned you state that you are. And the other note that I had that I wanted to mention is coping mechanisms. And I'm not going to go super in depth today, but I can tell you guys, for anyone out there, and again, really focusing around that body image, self-love piece of things, figure out what your coping mechanisms are. Because I can tell you, for me, when I had a couple moments today that were a little bit more heightened, my cope is usually I go to hunger and I go to how can I feed this emotion. And I also notice for me, and I have for a long time, when I get tired and fatigued and then I couple that with overwhelm or doubt, it can spark those food triggers. And guys, those are the moments that you have to decide. Take a break. Sometimes we just need to take a break. I can tell you I've never been a napper, but more so than ever in my life, I will take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 if I need to, and just lay on the couch and just be for some time. Or I'll go and walk out in the grass or just go for a walk. And sometimes that's all we need to recenter, reset, get refocused, as opposed to needing anything else to cope. Sometimes we just need a break and to breathe and to recenter. And then we can come back and just be stronger than we were in the first place. So there you have it, guys. Day 1, lots going on. A look in the day in the life of me. So I will leave it there and say, in these final thoughts of day 1 video, guys, be kind to yourself. Know it's a journey. Pace yourself. Like anyone who's been watching me for a while, you would know I actually started these diary journals on YouTube well over 2 years ago. And in my journey, I had a lot to get through as it relates to video and just showing up like this. I had a lot of limiting beliefs that kept me from going on video or public speaking for a number of things that I've now fully worked through. And some days it's still a little angsty to show up, but it's part of the journey. And it means we just come back to it. It means that we work on other little steps until we get to this one. And then when we get to this one, we will work on other steps to get to the next one. So there you have it. That's all I got. Be kind to yourself. I'll be right back here tomorrow evening at some point. And if you ever have questions, comments, want help or support, from a coaching perspective or from an energy working perspective, get in touch, leave me comments. If you like my content, like, subscribe, and pass this along to your friends. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.